Hey guys, it's Bill Wolf here. Had a couple requests from individuals who said they got off of Facebook, and so want me to do my videos on YouTube. So this is for you. I pay attention to my audience. My phone is blowing up. I'm looking at the market right now. I want to make this video to make it very clear what my major concerns are, and it's not the coronavirus right now. It's not the coronavirus. Here's why. Here where I live in Angelina County, there is now no confirmed cases. However, all around us, there are popping up cases, and there are onesies and twosies. I think there's 5, which matter. That's not the issue that we're talking about here. Last night, the county commissioners got together. I don't know if they watched my video yesterday or whatever, but I told them they needed to have an emergency meeting because the fact is they need to prepare for not only this coronavirus, but I also mentioned the markets, how this is going to affect us economically in the future. They just don't seem to get how serious that this is, not only for our health, but also for our local economy. They met and they decided that they were going to actually give their employees some time off. I don't know if you're sure if they're going to take their sick time, but they did say all they kept saying was, well, we're going to pay for them. I'm asking, do they have to use their sick time for this? There'll be action soon for general purposes that if you work for the county, that you're home for an extended period of time. So let me go over the numbers and let me explain to you why this could have gone further and reason why we're not taking this as serious. As we see many counties around us, they're filing, and the state of Texas has filed a state of emergency. They have the wherewithal to see this. The coronavirus is not just for the state of emergency. It is for the state of emergency for the coronavirus. It's also how bad we're going to get hit economically. Once a county actually says that we have a disaster and they declare a disaster in their area, it automatically opens up federal and state help to help with their economy. In other words, it keeps them from going bankrupt. It allows them to actually have resources that they can utilize that we currently don't have or in short of here, to have the state or the federal government come in here and bring testing equipment, bring masks, and also prop up our economy to where we don't go bankrupt. Or it doesn't hit us in the ass. They tabled this motion. I cannot stress this important enough. We don't have time for reindeer games right now. I'm stressing to you what's the most important that I can actually stress to you. We have an economic problem here. Our stock market, if you don't understand, it has dropped every day, 1,000 points a day. Yesterday, Halliburton actually furloughed 3,500 people from the Houston plants. Today, GM, Ford, all these other big three have shut down production in the United States. We have a sell-off of the economy to where Boeing, all airlines, cruise ships are begging for federal help. If they do not get this help, then they're going to go bankrupt. Now, we here in Huntington and in Angelina County, well, that's happening to them over there. It's not going to affect our economy. I'm sorry. You're wrong. A recession affects everybody. Okay? We're not exempt. If the nation goes into a recession, we're part of a nation, contrary to popular belief. We don't stand and walk to a different drummer. Our economy is based on a service. In other words, we serve people who actually come in. We service them for food. We're a service economy. 2 out of 3 of our retail, 2 out of 3 of our businesses in America today are service related. So now, when you affect the production, Mr. Joe Smuckatelli cannot go to dinner. They're actually worried about if they got milk in the freezer. The layoffs are 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 coming. An economic disaster is actually getting ready to hit Angelina County if it has not done so or whatever. Right now, it's affected us first of all because we've actually sent people home from the county. That means the county's business is not getting done. Red flag. One red flag. Number two is the fact is that we have individuals who are pertaining and not paying attention that this could affect us and how could it affect us and our family. And if you're waiting for the county to actually make educated decisions on how it's going to protect you and how it can come to your aid quick, you're barking up the wrong tree. They don't get it. Right now, the next step the county needs to be, they need to be working 12, 14 hours a day. I'll tell you what first needs to happen. They need to take their budget they have right here before they throw it away in the trash can. They need to go through and they need to start slashing out all the income that they predict from now till the next fiscal year. You're not going to get that money. People are not going to be able to pay you that money. The money, in other words, in the budget, what they do is they predict, okay, well, last year we got this much money. This year we're going to get the same amount of money, or if not more, if we didn't raise our fees or whatever. So anyway, they're projecting these monies that are actually going to be coming to them. It's not going to happen. Huntington, Texas, for example, they rely heavily on loan forgiveness to pay their bills. In other words, they go to the bank and they say, well, we can't pay this loan. We can't further. We're going to go bankruptcy, blah, 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 blah. They have played this game for so long that right now it doesn't matter to the banks. It doesn't matter. Pay up or we're going to come get our money. There's no more. There's no more. Okay, you're a good old boy. No, bottom line is that pay me. You need your money. I need my money to be solvent myself. Angelina County is getting ready to figure out that what they have projected in their budget is not going to happen. We have to make two major moves. Our sheriff, who's duly elected, he ran on his campaign, said he was going to strive for more pay for his officers, for his deputies. I'm sorry. Here's the deal. He's going to be working now to keep those individuals in a job. There is no money to pay them. So you go from one gamut to the other. It has gone from me getting a raise to I'm about ready to get laid off. Just like that. If you need confirmation, please look because we're trading at 19,248 today. I never thought it would go below 20. And before we were trading at the all-time highs of 27 and 28. This is how much it's dropped in 7 days. Please tell me that you realize it's going to affect not only our business, but our small businesses first. We are failing to understand the economic impact of what this coronavirus is actually causing businesses to have to do. When people are actually having to stay home from work, this clogs up the pipeline. There is no cash money flowing. Case in point, the government has said we're going to actually go ahead and send you $1,000 per person just so you can pay your rent, just so you can buy groceries. And our county believes that we're not in a state of disaster yet. We may not be a state of disaster in our coronavirus antics, but the effect on our economy, we are. There are many things that you factor into whenever you consider if you're in a state of emergency or not. One of them is the actual damage done, the amount of death, the amount of destruction, the amount of, but also very highly, and this is how it's going to affect us economically moving forward. How is this going to actually, do we have the funds to actually replenish what we've lost? The answer in Angelina County is no. I'm not saying that they were that asleep at the wheel, but what I'm saying is that they should have predicted that after a all-time low, everybody knew in the market, or if you were paying attention to the market, we're going to experience some lows. It's not going to keep going up. No one could have expected it to go down this far. However, the fact is that maybe 3 or 4 days ago, you should have been looking at the market and you say, hey, how's it going to affect us? Maybe you started calling some meetings earlier. And if you're not talking about this and you're not looking at your budget, if you're not looking and seeing how much a hit you're going to take on your budget, then you're wrong. You need to take this budget, hash it through, come up with new figures, take that budget, throw it away because it doesn't mean anything anymore. It doesn't mean anything anymore. You need to readjust your figures based on the actual economic outlook and actually the ability to pay for the individuals that actually provide services. Now, let me tell you how else the county is not paying attention to, because we have cities, Diboll, Lufkin, we have Huntington, we have Zavala, we have all these cities around that actually involve Angelina County. Now, when this actually this economic disaster, as I'm calling it, actually hits these small towns, guess what? They're not going to be able to provide services that are required by the state and the federal government. What are these? Trash pickup, water, electricity, sewer. These things are actually mandated that they have to provide to individuals. You have to have it available. If these things go, if these things, one of these things stop, then guess who picks up the bill? The county is responsible for that. Our county officials have actually been in a great opportunity. They can always just blame the city, say, they didn't give us enough money. They didn't give us enough money, whatever. The county needs to step up. They need to start putting some guidelines in place for these cities who actually occupy Angelina County, because it's very close that the incorporation of these cities will disappear when they can't provide these services. When they can't provide these services, and guess what? You're no longer a incorporated city. You belong to the county now, and the county, takes on your debt, all the responsibilities you're supposed to be doing. Meantime, these city officials are moving on to bigger green pastures if they can find one. If you don't believe me, if you are an individual that have checked, look at your 401k for the last 7 days. Also, take a look at your pension fund. You're going to see a rapid decline in both. If you thought you had this much money 7 days ago, look at it now. This will be your come to Jesus moment. So imagine the impact that it has on city and county officials, because the fact is they've got investments just like we do. They've got loans out, they've got grants, they've got to pay these back. And if they don't have the money to do so because individuals can't pay their bills, then they are subject to bankruptcy. I say bankruptcy like you think it's, well, I can't see them actually fighting economically for this. Everybody's worried about the coronavirus, rightly so, but you have to worry about the economic impact of the world that it's actually facing and saying, oh, how can it affect me here? And our answer as a community has been, well, we live in a bubble. Nothing can affect us here. We make up our own laws. We make up our own. We do whatever we want to do here. We don't need no outside influences. We don't need all this whatever. Guess what? That statement's right there getting ready to bite you in the ass, because you didn't declare a state of emergency first, because you're not on the list right now. Guess what? These cities that are actually filing for a state of emergency right now, cities and counties that are filing for this, they come first. And by the time it gets down to us, we're going to be sitting there with well, how much you got for me? They are behind the 8 ball is basically what I'm saying. We have a county attorney's office that just got a new space. They spent money and they actually said, I need more attorneys. I need more. So we built up a new space. We got a new, guess what? Mr. County Attorney, you're not going to be able to afford anybody. Matter of fact, you're going to have to make decisions on how many extra attorneys you really need to actually run your office on a bare minimum. Sheriff's Department, he's getting ready to face some very serious truth because he don't have the budget. The budget that he had last year is not what he's going to get this year. And guess what? They're going to make cuts to it right now if they're smart. Generally, what I'm saying is that this meeting should entail, there should be a meeting within the next 72 hours to where they actually say, okay, we're not just sending these people home. We need to sit down and reanalyze and see what we can cut back to avoid the damage that's actually coming. Now, those people going to be pissed because I got laid off. I got seniority and I got laid off, whatever. My daddy so and so and so and so, and they don't know who they must. Yeah, I've been here for 25 years and I've been doing this. It don't matter. It don't matter because the fact is, guess what? You're going to find out very, very early or very, very quickly that the fact is they don't give a shit about you. They just give a shit about their money and them getting paid and them being paid their bills so they can remain in office and they can actually remain making the decisions, which are bad decisions. But guess what? You're going to really figure out real quick. They don't give a shit. On the flip side of that coin, maybe out of this whole outcome, maybe it'll get people involved saying, you know what, oh hell no, they'll screw us on that. So we're going to show up at these damn meetings and we're going to find out what's actually going on. Because what they're doing is they're having all these meetings and nobody's suiting up and showing up, which affects your economic future here in Southeast Texas. Right now, the airlines, like I said, are going bust. They're begging for federal government, for federal funding. Now, remember, our teachers have been off. They're not working. They are or will not. They are beginning to be paid, or they don't know how long they're going to be able to pay. They have sick leave, or they don't know how long they're going to be able to actually operate without them getting a salary. They don't know, so it's like it's the uncertainty in the air, and we're hoping for the best. Like I've said before, is that I myself, okay, I look at things outside the box. People say, well, it couldn't happen here. It'll never happen here, whatever. I'm one of those, well, what if it does? Are we prepared for that? In Angelina County, the answer is no. We are not prepared for what's getting ready to hit us. I don't mean to actually go out on a limb and be negative and be causing a fear factor. Not ever. I'm looking at the numbers. I'm looking at the numbers right here. I'm looking at the stock market. I'm looking at how it's affecting all the industries around us that we, being a service industry, it's going to actually affect because there's not going to be many people buying shit anymore. People will go without water. They will not pay their water bill. People will not pay their electricity bill because they don't have the money. This is the reason why the government is going to say, we're giving you $1,000 so you can pay your damn bills. So these counties and cities don't go bankrupt. Because when that happens, they're going to have to come in and see if they can prop these some bitches up. It's really not the government's fault. It's our fault because we didn't get ahead of it. We thought, well, it can never happen to us. I'll be the first one to tell you. Thank you for saying that to me. Thank you for believing in that. But I just put in my 2 cents here. Guess what? It's getting ready to. Part of me, in my travels here, I have actually gone to individuals and said, look, you need to look at this. You need to look at this. I've been out vocal, very vocal or whatever, saying you guys need to look at this because this could change the drop of a hat. Oh, no, you don't know. You're crazy. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know. He's a troublemaker. I'll put his ass in jail. We'll shut him up. Whatever. We know what the fuck we're doing or whatever. However, the fact is that guess what? Part of me wants to sit back and say, hey, watch these. It's like, stirring an ant bed. Watching that. Or turning on the light in the middle of the night and see how many roaches you got. That's what's getting ready to happen. I will be proactive in saying that by the first of this month, by the first of April 1st, we're going to be living in a whole different world than we are right now. People are going to be having to make big decisions on whether they continue to stay here or they look for greener, better pastures. Is there anywhere else they can go, or do they have to just sit and grin and bear it and just wear it out? People are going to get stuck in Angelina County because they can't move out. Why? Because they don't have what they think their property is worth is not what it's going to sell on the market. Can't afford to move. Right now we have The reason why they missed this so badly is because they actually posed $19.1 million bond initiative. It's going to raise your taxes. They didn't see it coming. They didn't pay attention to the economy. It's like my grandfather. You can shit in one hand, and you can want in one hand and shit in the other, and see which one fills up faster. Well, guess what? A lot of these individuals who are better than you, who are acting better than you, who have actually turned their nose up to it, who decide not to listen to you, they're going to be the ones that are going to be suffering, and they're going to be asking for, I need support from you. Well, I'm just going to tell them, you know what? Where were you when I was screaming? Where were you when I was telling you about this 3, 4, 5 months before? I don't need to be right. I just need somebody to listen. So hopefully, maybe somebody say, well, I listened to him, and guess what? It didn't get that bad for me. It went worse. The families have to really sit down and realize right now, what if this happens? What if I get laid off? What if my wife can't go back to work? What if I can't go back to work? What about the kids can't go to school? How are we going to eat? How are we going to feed ourselves? How are we going to get up and produce income to actually get the necessities that we need? Every family in Angelina County is going to have to be doing that at one time or another. Or if you don't, it's going to be too late. The arrogance of Angelina County to believe that they are above reproach and this is not going to affect them is going to bite them in the ass. I went to Mr. Terry Pitts at one point in time. I think it was like 6 months ago at a city council meeting. I said, I'd like to schedule a meeting with you. I can look at you. I can see where we can save you like $73,880,000. Well, I'll meet with you, but I don't. But only if it's about roads. Only if it's about roads. Unfortunately, our county commissioners believe that that's their sole responsibility. They don't realize that they're actually in charge of the budget. They actually have a say-so in the budget. They actually have a say-so in who hires and fires from the county. They don't exercise those abilities, and we are the ones who are going to pay for it, because the fact is that nobody looked at the budget except to what actually the figures were coming in. They never looked at the big picture. This is going to bite them in the ass. For our city managers, there are individuals that are taking steps. Orange, Texas actually filed for a state of emergency today because the fact is that they realized that if they didn't, they were going to be a low man on a totem pole, and they know that they're going to need some financial help and also some FEMA help, and also help getting their economy back on track after this is all over with. Many counties around us are meeting on it, thinking on it, and have actually announced to the public this may be something that's available. We're going to meet. We're going to actually discuss it here in Angelina County. Shh. We don't want to tell the people how bad it really is. The people about ready to find out. And they're going to look to the government. They're going to look to the cities, and they're going to say, shit, they're no help. Matter of fact, people are going to start looking at the cities. You know, if I didn't have to pay you this damn shit, I would actually be. So people are going to kind of be really pissed off at our local governments, and rightly so. The time for them to take advantage of us is over. It's not even going to be existent. They cannot do it no more unless blatant. The only option that the counties or cities have is to ask for funding from the state or the Fed on loans that we're going to be responsible for paying back to save their ass, because they did not do their homework and predict and see this, and they probably couldn't. It probably wouldn't have stopped the negativity in the economic market in our county. However, here's what it would have done. It would have softened the blow for the residents. This is another example. They really don't give a shit about the residents. It's all about the bottom line and them keeping their job. It's going to become apparent how many people are going to be able to keep their job at the county. It's going to be at the city level. We're not going to be the only ones who lose our jobs. If you're in the oil field industry, let me just explain something. Earlier this week at 7 days out, we were selling a barrel of oil was going for $50 a gallon. It went down to 30 today in trading that we have lost. It is down to maybe $3 a barrel right now. Hopefully it'll rebound. We've got 2 hours. Hopefully it'll rebound again, so we may be able to get 20. Gas prices are going to be just freaking drop bottom. But for those of you that work in the oil industry, we don't need no more oil. Nobody's buying it. Supply and demand. Nobody's buying your oil. Can you see where that might be a problem? Because if you're producing oil and then nobody wants it, they see where you're going with that. This goes out to the roughnecks, to the welders, to the pipe fitters, to the individuals that are actually working on the oil wells or in a service industry. If you're a company that's actually serving the oil industry in any way, shape, form, or fashion by supplying these individuals with goods and services, then guess what? They're not going to need these goods and services. So now it affects retail divisions too. And our lumber industry, nobody's building houses. Everybody's going to stay at home. So can our local economy, can we do business in our local economy to sustain our action? No, we can't. Because we've seen this, because that's why we go to Walmart, we go to Costco, we go to HEB, we go to all these big places, because the fact is local retailers do not have items that we need. They serve in specific items that actually cater to their clientele where they can make their money. Not any fault to theirs. Walmart stocks are up. If you're a Walmart employee, right? If you're a Walmart employee and you got stock in your company, you're dancing the naked dance right now. But there's only 4 stocks that are actually trading up today. Only 4. Now I could go through it. I could explain to you step by step what has happened, how it's going to get worse, how we can actually maybe soften the blow and restructure so we can actually predict what's coming for us and prepare for this for the long haul. I've thought about this. I've got notes all around this damn thing. I got notes upon notes. Most of these notes that I took was whatever I was writing so damn fast was happening or whatever. However, here's the kicker. Nobody will listen to anybody else. They're all the regional experts. The city councils and the county officials, they're all regional experts. And if they've got financial advisors and they're calling their financial advisors, they're going to tell them the same thing I'm going to tell them. The decisions you've made in the past, now you're going to set up, and now you're going to pay for them. It's going to be a slow burn. So, in the interim, all we can do is sit back and watch. We can just sit back and watch, because the fact is that, there's not going to be any proactivity from our Angelina County government. There's not going to be any proactivity from our cities. They're too busy worrying about how they can save their jobs and not really worried about other people. Talking about cutthroat. Can you say hypocrite? And these people go to church on Sunday. So, in the interim, that's all we can do is hope we keep our job. And the next step, it's going to get worse, because once we have, and we're going to have a positive case of coronavirus in Angelina County, once that happens, panic sets in. And it's just like we've seen on the market. It's just a panic market. We see people rushing to buy toilet papers and crap off the shelves and everything. I have yet to figure out why toilet paper is going to save me from no damn coronavirus. We hear the examples. We hear what we need to do. We hear these things over and over all day. We're so sick and tired of hearing it, but it keeps getting worse. It's not going away. You can't run from it. And it's really going to hit you whenever you get that final paycheck. So, we got to let you off, brother. Well, when can I come back to work? We don't know. Is this the fault of our county? Is it the fault of our cities? No, it's just plain. It ain't personal. It's business. But our county has not done anything to soften the blow. Our county can't even issue. Our county cannot even issue what we need to do in the interim. Where do we go get tested if you need to get tested? Do our medical staffs at our hospitals in Lufkin, do they have protective equipment? Have we made sure that maintained that they can get that equipment? We could guarantee that if we actually filed for a state of emergency, we would have shipments overnight of testing equipment, actual things that actually would protect our doctors and nurses and healthcare professionals. But we don't have that. We don't see the sense of urgency. I would rather be over prepared and overreact than underreact, because underreacting costs money and it's going to cost lives, and it costs these individuals who are working. It costs them. They're going to have to restart their life all over again when this is over with. I hope that maybe the county and the cities can actually determine and see how serious this is, because the fact is that this is going to be going on and on and on, and they are going to have to correct it. If you are a elected official and you are not preparing for this, if you fail to see what's going on and you fail to educate yourself, please step down right now. We need to get people in there that are, I'll put it this way. You got you got concierges, let's say in the mafia. You had concierges. Concierges that actually were actually put in place, but they were good at business. They were good at making money. They were good at. Then you had wartime concierges where they came in. You know what? We're going to war. If you realize it or not, we're going to war with a coronavirus and our economy. We need people in there that are able and willing and know and have enough knowledge and actually have ability to research and find out what we can and can't do. We do not need road commissioners no more. We do not need kiss ass individual people in there looking to better their job or keep their job. We're going to have somebody come in there and make some hard damn decisions to protect our economy and protect our people of Angelina County. And we don't have that right now. We don't have that right now. Many people will say, well, you're just an alarmist. You're just one of those conspiracy theorists. No, I'm not. Look at the market. I told you 7 days ago. I told you I was wrong. I said if it gets down to 20, we're probably going to bottom out. We're at 19 today. Even I didn't realize how serious it was. So throughout your course of the day, if you're home, whatever, just turn your channel on and look at the markets and see and then just say, how's it going to affect us? How can it affect us here? 9 out of 10 of you individuals from Angelina County say, well, that's not going to bother. That's going to blow over. Nothing going to happen. Not going to happen. No, we're a separate entity. We're better than everybody else. Hang on till your britches, because guess what? When it hits, I guarantee you're going to remember this video and you're going to say, damn. I wasn't 100% right, but god dang, I was about late 75% right. Now we sit back and we see what the actual elected officials are going to do about this. It does us no good as citizens to go to a public forum meeting. They don't want to hear it. It does no good for you to go in front of them and tell them what your concerns are or actually address your grievances, because they don't want to hear it. They will refuse to actually acknowledge your even existence. They're bigger, better, and faster than the average bear. This is what they have been preaching to us all these years. They know more than we do. If you're a citizen right now, it's time to hunker down and do not depend on your government. Do not depend on these elected officials, because they will screw you any way they can and because they have no other option. Maybe we should have thought about that before we elected these son of bitches. Maybe they could have softened the blow, or actually start making plans to actually see how we can recover, take care of individuals now, and then when we start the recovery, be prepared to actually recover as fast as we can. But we cannot, will not admit it, because either it's a lack of knowledge, it's lack of ability to admit the problem. You got to see a problem. You got to recognize you got a problem before you can fix a problem. We are still trying to grips with recognition. Oh, what problems do we? I don't see no problems. Well, let's just send some people home. That's what we're doing. We're going to keep people getting sick. All right, see how that works out for you. Show this video, share it. Everybody in Angelina County. I'm not trying to be there. Everybody calls. Y'all can call me whatever you want. I don't care. But there's one thing you're going to come out with this, and about April the 1st, I will hear from many individuals. My phone's been blowing up today. I've been hearing from many individuals that say, you know what? God dang it, you're right. There's no reason why that you should be kept in the dark anymore from by your governments or your cities. You should. There's ways. So I will tell you what's going on through their brain housing group today. We don't need no more road commissioners. We need economic people who can actually get in there and solve our economic problems that are actually getting ready to hit because of this coronavirus. Until we do that, Angelina County will suffer. And we're going to get hit hard because of the lack of the ability or the lack of preparedness that we have had in front of us. This time is precious. We need to be taking care of time and making some serious decisions right now. And we're not. It's going to come back to bite us all in the ass. You guys be good, be careful, watch the markets. If you have a 401k, please look at it, see. I'm not saying take your money out of the 401k. I'm just saying that you're going to have to realize that this is actually true because you're losing money. Nothing you can do about it, but this is how real it's getting right now. If you have a job right now, you better be walking on eggshells because the fact is you can bet your ass at your job, your bosses, those bosses over them are actually, who can we cut back? How many hours can we cut back? Can we go to part-time? Can we do these things? This is what's being discussed behind closed doors. I think because I've been in that position before, and I worked at Countrywide Home Loans, and I know I've seen this market before, and I know what's going on behind the closed doors. Take it or leave it, believe me or not, but it's worth taking a look at and seeing if there's anything in this video that you can use to prepare your family. Keep your powder dry, keep your head on a swivel, and always stay frosty. I'm out.